Let me show you how a pair of features on your Mac could help you read and type text. Now, if you always have trouble reading text on your Mac, you probably should change the screen resolution to make everything a little bit bigger. And of course, you can do things in specific apps like in Safari to enlarge the text. But if you only occasionally have trouble, like sometimes when there's text that's too small, there's a feature that could help out, and it could help you when typing text as well. So this is called hover text or hover typing. You find it by going into System Settings and then go to Accessibility. And you'll see it right here under Vision. Go into hover text here and you'll see hover text, hover color, and hover typing. You can look at options for these by clicking the little information button next to each one. For instance, for hover text, you can control the activation modifier, how you actually turn it on and off. So by default, it's set as the command key. You press the command key down and it will activate hover text, and you release the command key and it goes away. But you could also set it to triple press in order to activate it and have it stick, and then triple press again to have it go away. You also can set the appearance, how big the text is, the font, the color, and other things. Let's see how it looks. I'm going to turn it on here, and I'm going to go into another app. Like for instance, let's go into a Finder window here. Now let's say we want to be able to read the text here a little easier. So we can hold down the command key and it'll activate hover text. And by itself, it doesn't do anything right away, but you start to move the pointer. And you see as you move the pointer over something, it will show you that text, but in this little box and much larger. So I can go over different things on the screen here. And you can see it'll show me what each one of those shows. So a little bit easier to read text. And all I need to do to make it go away is release the command key. Of course, if I triple press command like that, now it's locked and it will just stay on. I don't need to press anything. So if you want that, you can use it. Otherwise, triple press and it will go away again. It works in a variety of different apps. So for instance, here in Calendar, it's a typical place where text could be pretty small. So you can hold the command key down and it will enlarge the text there. And you can see it even gives you some more details than are there on the screen normally. In Numbers, if you have trouble reading some of the text here, you can use it there. Just keep holding the command key down and it will give you the text in a larger font and sometimes more information, like that this is a formula result. A web browser, of course, is a key place where this could be needed because sometimes text varies greatly in size. So for instance, if you wanted to read this paragraph here, you can use it. Now notice how there's not enough space in the box to have all the text there. But if you use 2 fingers on a trackpad or 1 on a magic mouse, you can scroll inside this box here to read more text. If you scroll past the end, it begins scrolling the web page as you would imagine. So just as an example of how this could be better than zooming over text on the web page or using a different screen resolution, a lot of times web pages will have text of different sizes. So for instance, here at the bottom of this, you've got some small text, very common on a web page. So if you can read the regular text just fine and need to read the small text, you can use hover text for that. If you find these videos valuable, consider joining the more than 3,000 others that support MACMOST through Patreon. You get exclusive content, course discounts, and more. You can read about it at macmost.com/Patreon. Now, in addition to making it easier to see text that you're reading, you can also make it easier to see text that you're typing. So hover typing will work when you're actually typing new text. You can look at the settings here and you can see you can set a text size, font, and other things, but also text entry location. So you can have the box appear near where you're typing or always at a consistent spot on the screen. So let's see how this works. Here I am in Numbers, for instance, and maybe I want to make sure that I'm typing the right numbers. So when I go to enter something into a field here, maybe the text is a bit too small for that. So what I'll do is I'll turn on hover typing. So now in Numbers, you can see as I'm typing, I get this box here. And I can clearly see what it is I'm typing here. So as I make changes, I don't make a mistake. It just automatically appears anytime that I'm typing. So I have to enter typing mode here for it to appear. Here in Notes, it'll automatically appear as soon as I have a text cursor somewhere and I'm typing something. A web browser is another place where maybe the text can be read just fine, but as soon as you start typing something, in some sort of field or box, you find that the text is too small. So hover typing comes in handy for that kind of situation too. If you find the box is always getting in the way, that's where text entry location comes in handy. So you can set it to a custom location or say to a specific spot like the bottom right here. So now when I go to type, you can see it appears at the bottom, which of course would be closer to my keyboard. So maybe it's a good spot for it. Now, while hover text can be toggled on or off by simply holding the command key or some other modifier key you set, hover typing is on all the time if you turn it on. However, you can make it easy to turn on and off by going into shortcuts and creating a new shortcut that uses the set hover typing action here. So you can have it toggle hover typing here. Let's call this toggle hover typing. And under info here, so I can add a keyboard shortcut for this. I'll just use all the modifier keys and H to toggle it. And now here I am in numbers and say I want to type something and it's too small. I'll just use that keyboard shortcut there. And now it's on and I use it again and it will turn it off. So if you only want it on some of the time, having a shortcut like this set up can help. So even if you only need hover text or hover typing occasionally, it's good to know about this feature. Hope you found it useful. Thanks for watching. Want to know about every new MACMOST video each week? Sign up for the absolutely free MACMOST email newsletter at macmost.com/newsletter.